Hello again, and welcome back to year 4 of the Religious Education Initiative. This is week 11, day 2. Every year on November 21st, we celebrate the feast of the entrance of the Theotokos into the temple. This feast is coming up next week, so we're going to talk about it this week. The story of this feast is that when the Virgin Mary was 3 years old, her parents dedicated her to serve in the temple. When she was brought to the temple, the priest Zacharias, the father of St. John the Baptist, greeted her, but she walked straight into the temple by herself and went directly into the holy place and beyond the curtain into the Holy of Holies, which is where the Ark of the Covenant had used to be until it was lost. The Holy of Holies had therefore been empty for hundreds of years since the temple was rebuilt, and along with its absence, the people of God understood that God's presence had never returned to the temple. With the entrance of the Theotokos into the temple, the fathers of the church recognized a transition from the temple of the Old Covenant, in which God had been pleased to dwell with his people, to the temple of the New Covenant, as the Lord dwells in the faithful, and first of all, of course, in his all-holy Mother. The following hymns reflect on this. Emma, that's too noisy. You need to be very quiet. Very quiet. We'll begin with the 6th hymn of the Kekragaria. With great joy did the venerable aged Anna cry out and say, Zacharias, welcome today the Virgin whom inspired prophets of God announced, and bring her into the Lord's holy temple there to dwell, and be sacredly fed and reared, so that she become the divine throne and palace, and the royal bed, and the brightly shining dwelling of the Master of the universe. And then the Doxastikon of the Aposticha. As the congregations of believers assemble today, let us spiritually celebrate the feast, and let us reverently extol the Mother of God, the Virgin Theotokos, as she is brought to the temple of the Lord. She had been selected in advance from all generations to be the dwelling of Christ, the Supreme King and God of all. O virgins, lead the way with ceremonial lamps and honor the solemn procession of the ever-Virgin. O mothers, forget your labor pains and joyfully come as well, and extol her who became the Mother of God and the agent of joy for the world. And let us all with joy and delight salute her, as did the angel, and sing rejoice to her, who is full of grace, and who ever intercedes for our souls. And then from the second Kathisma hymn for the feast, from the Orthros, in the morning of the feast. Consecrated unto God were you before you were conceived. Being born on earth to him, you now are offered as a gift, O pure one, filling the promise made by your parents. In purity returned unto the temple divine, from infancy with lamps shining bright, in truth you were a temple divine, and a vessel of the divine unapproachable light. How truly great is your sacred entrance, O only ever Virgin, Bride of God. And then from the Orthros, the Ithiomalon, the hymn after the 50th Psalm. Today the Theotokos, the temple that contains God, is led into the temple of God, and Zacharias welcomes her. Today the Holy of Holies is exultant, and the chorus of angels mystically celebrates. Together with them let us also keep the feast today, and with Gabriel let us cry aloud, Rejoice, O maiden full of grace, the Lord is with you, and he has the great mercy. And then we have 3 hymns from the 8th ode of the first canon of the feast. The first hymn. Leading the undefiled temple into the house of God, Anna cried aloud, saying with faith to the priest, Take the child given me by God, lead her into the temple of your Creator, and sing to him with joy, All works of the Lord, bless the Lord. When he saw Anna, Zechariah said to her in spirit, You are bringing the true mother of life, whom the prophets of God heralded from afar as the Theotokos. And how shall the temple contain her? Therefore in wonder I cry, All works of the Lord, bless the Lord. Anna replied to him, I stand here as the suppliant of God, calling upon him with faith and prayer to receive the fruit of my travail. For I promised that after childbirth I would present my child to him who gave her to me. Therefore I leap for joy and cry, all you works of the Lord, bless the Lord. So what we see here in all of these hymns is this reflection, this narrowing to a single point of all the expectations of the Old Testament, of the Old Covenant, of God's promise to Abraham and Isaac and Jacob, and the words of the prophets, and all the sufferings of the people. All of this has narrowed to this single point where a daughter of Israel is offered and comes into the temple to become herself the living temple of the Most High God. This is the transition from the Old Covenant, which is a shadow, a sign, a picture, an image of the eternal worship of God in heaven, moving from that image to the reality in which we are blessed to live, where God is with us, where Christ is in our midst, through the obedience and the faithfulness of the Mother of God. So this celebration is really unspeakably grand. And in the eighth ode, then, we have a little drama, a little dialogue, with Zechariah greeting the mother of the Theotokos and saying, you are bringing the mother of life. The prophets all heralded from afar as the Theotokos. He says, I don't know how the temple can hold her. And I cry out, let all the works of the Lord bless the Lord. And Anna replies with joy and gratitude. It's a neat little moment where we sort of, the veil of time is pulled aside, and we see this conversation as they celebrate and rejoice greatly in the Lord. So that's it for day 2. God bless you all. We'll see you shortly for day 3.